My hair is a mess. Oh, goodness. Hello, my fellow Misfitians, and welcome back to another video. So today's video is going to be a little bit different. This week has been a week. So anyway, I started filming this week 4 days ago for this YouTube video, and every single thing that I have touched creatively this week has not gone according to plan. So I started with one YouTube video idea, and I started working on that, and that plummeted. I basically was coming up with like a drawing type of just tutorial type thing, and I went through all of that, and electronics just did not work, and so that went out the window. So then the next day I was like, okay, I can either do that idea again or I can switch gears and do something else. And I just decided, I went through all of that trouble with the first thing and it didn't go according to plan, so let's go with the flow and let's do something else. So I did something else, and that fell apart. I painted it. It's actually right here, and it's a full-blown mess. So I basically tried to use a new hack with masking fluid, and it did not work. It totally ruined my paper. It totally wrecked everything. So chalk that up. That happened late night time after working all day on it. That was a failure. And then I started working on another project, basically the same one, but trying a new technique that didn't include masking fluid. And that one I tried doing, and I think it's just because by that point I was just so emotionally drained, because I had already been at this for 3 days just trying to film and put out a video, that by that point I was so frustrated. I basically misgauged my proportions of mixing colors together, and so my colors became way too dark way too quickly. So then the whole painting looked extremely dark, and I could not fix it because I was using concentrates and a lot of them are staining. So I have just decided after going at this for 4 days straight, I've just decided I have nothing filmed. Let's just take a little breather and take a step back. I am going to tackle this particular project again, but I'm going to do it for the next video. So you'll see more about what I'm talking about. That's why I'm not going to share it necessarily, because I did learn a lot through the process, and that's kind of what I want to talk about today. But yeah, this week has just been a creative trash dump week, I guess I would call it. So pretty much everything that I touched creatively just kind of fell apart. And I've noticed, this is kind of what I wanted to talk about today after having this whole experience. I've noticed that sometimes I get into these kind of creative trash weeks or days. Sometimes you'll have just one particular day where it feels like you just can't do anything. And I've noticed that that thing for me typically happens, I would say 3 times for 3 different reasons, basically. So for me right now, the reason is I am completely and utterly exhausted, and that's why I'm kind of losing my voice. I'm just tired. I've been working on other projects as well as these, and I just burned myself out. So that is one reason why I had this creative just malfunction. I didn't basically prioritize kind of and segment my time correctly. So that's what happened. And I'm still trying to learn how to balance my time between basically work, because I've got actually a couple of really big projects that are going on with work, as well as YouTube videos and just other things that are going on. And I'm still trying to learn kind of the balance between all of that. So that is the reason why I had this creative trash dump for this particular week. But there are 2 other reasons why you can have those. And I wanted to talk about those in kind of an impromptu carry chat time for this week's video. So one particular time, and I actually had this a couple of weeks ago, that I can have just a weird random kind of crash in creativity, is when you are between basically the next stage or the next level that you're going to get to creatively and the level that you're at right now. Sometimes there's, like, I've noticed this jump where you know when you're looking at something it's not right. You can actually pinpoint why it's not right, but you can't figure out how to get to the next step. So for me, a couple weeks ago, I was really working hard on drawing people and working on proportions and stuff like that. And I just had a lot of drawings that weren't coming out well at all. And I started to get a little bit discouraged, but then I realized, you know what? The reason why I'm having this kind of breakup is because I actually know where I want to go, and I'm not there yet because I'm not figuring out how to connect the dots to that next level or that next step. And after just kind of allowing my brain to kind of rest a little bit, like 3 or 4 days later, I was able to, something just within me just clicked and it started to flow, and I was able to actually get back into drawing people and getting them the correct proportions of what I actually wanted. So that can be one reason why you can kind of have this creative like block. Some people call it art block. I like to call it creative block. It's not necessarily that I typically can't do something. I don't have an idea basically of what I want to do. Some people say art block is like they don't have an idea of what to do. My particular art block and my creative block is typically I know what I want to do, but I have this barrier that is blocking me from getting to the next level. So that is one reason why this creative dump trash can happen. And then another one can just be kind of emotional, like mental, I would say, of you pushing down on yourself. So it can be basically your skill level can be hindering you because you want to get to the next spot or the next space. It can be physical, where you're tired and you just want to take a break because you have exhaustion, or it can be mental. So sometimes you can actually hinder yourself from putting out products because of putting yourself down or thinking negatively, such as, crud, this is not going to go well because I messed up on the last thing. I actually had a little bit of that as well going on, especially with the technique that I was using. I went way too dark, and it was because I was basically in my head thinking about what had gone wrong previously and just constantly thinking of that. And because I kind of put negative thoughts out, it unfortunately showed up in my art work. So yeah, that has kind of been my particular week and kind of just my thoughts for this particular week. What I'm planning on doing to try and get out of this funk is I'm going to take like one whole day and just do nothing and chill, and basically just find something that's relaxing and enjoyable, and then jump back into this project and start working on it for the next YouTube video. So that's something that you can look forward to. As for just a comment down below, have y'all ever experienced this particular thing where you're working on something and you just feel hindered, or you feel like everything's going wrong creatively? And if you have, please let me know your stories, because that would very much encourage me, because that has been my week this week completely. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this kind of just chit-chatty, non-edited version really of me talking to the camera, because that's all I could get out this week, unfortunately. But anyway, lots of love, y'all. Happy painting, and please leave those comments. I will be reading those and responding to them because I just need some encouragement this week. So lots of love, y'all, and bye.